Today's show is brought to you by 50 Cent's savage Instagram behavior. You don't like that one?
I love it, Rob.
Do you want me to do it different?
Nah, he is a savage guy. He's a savage guy on the gram.
He is, and I know that trolling is quite popular now, sort of the down with the kids sort of thing to do. But 50 Cent is one of the original trolls from How to Rob, where he basically came into the game by going at every single popular rapper, R&B singer, producer. I think he even had a line in How to Rob back in the 90s about robbing Timberland for his donuts or something like that. And the man has managed to maintain and float his career on basically like a form of bullying, really, is what it is.
Savage destruction of careers whenever he can.
He does. He ends people's careers. Apart from the people who survived it, Rick Ross hasn't seemed to be affected by any of his beef. And who's the other one? French Montana as well. Mm-hmm. I know him and they had their thing for a while. And obviously him and Diddy. I mean, no one's ever going to take down Diddy, are they?
Nah, I mean, even Drake tried and he got a hot slap. We just had to cancel that from all existence.
Can we also appreciate how awesome that... Like, you don't really hear that many cool hip-hop stories anymore, do you?
Nah.
You don't really hear, like, you know, back in the days, rock stars would be throwing televisions out of windows and stuff, and now what is it? You don't really get any cool stories. But P. Diddy walking up to Drake in a nightclub and like slapping him around the face is like something out of like some hip-hop biopic, you know? It's great. It's great. Thanks, Diddy. Thanks for keeping hip-hop alive.
And that is how we start the show, when DEV, Dev's in the building. So what's going on, D?
Right, so we ain't seen each other for a long time.
When did we last see each other?
It's been a couple months, I reckon.
It's been a couple. It's the first time I've spoken to you this year.
Look, what's this? You need some help. Ace is sick. He's not able to do the podcast. And look who came crawling
Oh,
back.
you said it. You said it as well last time. You're like,
Mr. Plan B.
I see you and Ace. I see you and Ace is sick again. Yeah. So you said, you fucking.
I'm breaking case of emergency. So look, I thought we should probably have a little catch up at the start, because I can help you out by doing your podcast, but then we can also have just like a little general chit chat as well, because I've seen some shit the last couple of months and I ain't really been able to talk about it on my normal job, because my normal job is national radio and Radio 1. I can't say...
What time's your show?
Fuck, I can't talk about fannies, can't talk about any of that. So...
what time's your show?
Saturday and Sunday, the Weekend Breakfast Show, guys. Saturday and Sunday,
cool.
Only on BBC Radio 1. And I promise you I won't talk about fannies. So, have we talked about... I went to Japan, dude.
Yeah.
I went to...
Oh, what?
Tokyo.
When'd you go to Japan?
Is that racist, if I say it like that?
When'd you go to Japan?
I went to Japan like... September.
Wait, say it again.
Tokyo. That is a bit racist.
Yeah, that's even more racist.
If somebody, if I was in Tokyo and someone said to me, "Where you from?" and I went London, they went, London, mate. I'd go, yeah.
pulled his eyes all wide open and went,
London, mate. No, see, that would have been racist. All right?
Really?
Yeah. He would have been racist for saying that, but I wouldn't be racist for saying it because I am part black. So, I went to Tokyo, right, and it is the most mental, crazy, beautiful, fucking ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, I don't even know where to begin. And again, because I've not been able to talk about this might just be a lot of rambling, but all I'm saying, me and you, bruv, we gotta go fucking Tokyo, dude.
Why do I need to go to Tokyo? I'm excited.
Right, okay, so let me tell you about a few nights out that I had in Tokyo. Yeah. Alright, first off, what I think is that they have been in the past so conservative, they've kind of imploded on themselves, and now they're like, well, you know what, people are into weird shit, let them be into weird shit. In fact, let's create a market for weird shit and make lots of money off of this weird shit as well. So that's kind of what they've done. Do you remember the massive HMV that used to be in Oxford Street in London?
Yes. In the centre of our shopping centre is a massive record shop where everyone used to go.
It's like
buy records. 3
or 4 floors of CDs and vinyl and T-shirts and memorabilia and all that kind of shit. But the point is that it's a huge store. Imagine half the size of that filled with porn. Just all kinds of big boob,
Glorious.
big boob, strap on dildo, ball gag, mummified, fucking poo, enema, flipping, she-mail, 2 on 1, 5 on 20, like, all that kind of porn. And
Yes.
a total encyclopedia, just the biggest archive of porn I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was just on some little fucking alleyway, just like a little unassuming alleyway. Just walked in, and it's the most amount of porn I've ever seen in my life. They had a vending machine in there where you could like buy pants, and that's little panties you could buy. Some of them have been signed by porn stars. Oh, that was the other thing about all this porn that was in there. I'm not talking about international porn, bruv. I'm talking about Japanese porn.
So what's the difference?
Well, I mean, look how much of it there is. Like, I'm trying to explain to you now the sheer scale. I'll send you pictures, right? So you get the idea of how big this place was. Like, there must have been millions of DVDs in there. Millions of them. I've never seen this amount of fucking DVDs before. And it's all porn. It's all Japanese-made porn. I'm just like, who needs all of that? Who could ever possibly need all of this? And I was in there, admittedly, because I was
buying porn.
bored.
Just tell the truth, bro.
No one buys
I was
porn
bored.
nowadays. Talking about, bruv. No one buys
All
porn.
right. Well, you're looking at what you're gonna Google on porn.com.
I was just having a look, and admittedly, it was 10 a.m. on a Monday, right? But I had arrived on a flight the night before, so I was a little bit jet lagged and quite
that's
bored.
a hard flight.
Dude, there was guys in there Monday morning, 10 o'clock, right? Dudes was in there like they were at fucking Tesco's, bruv. I'm talking like the guy had a basket. Guys had baskets, like taking DVDs out, looking at the back, reading it, put that one back, have a look, perusing, bruv.
I rate that, yes.
Not like walking
Peruse
into the
that
shop,
porn.
grab a DVD, yeah, I'll just take that one and rushing back out again. Nah, dude is taking his time.
No, I respect that, man. If you're gonna buy porn,
buy a
know
porn.
what you're doing. Buy
If
that
you're gonna
porn
buy a
with.
porn,
Yeah, if you're gonna buy porn,
just buy porn. You know,
yeah, just
buy a porn.
have a look.
In fact, you know what? Please go into an adult bookshop and say, "Can I buy a porn?" Everybody listening to this that is above 18, at one point during
Everyone
the week,
should be. It's explicit.
go into an adult play and go, "Can I buy a porn, please?"
Say it like Borat. Can I buy a porn?
Can I buy a porn?
I like a porn. So that was good.
So,
what about the
all right.
infamous toilets that wash out your batty hole?
Dude.
Did you get on one of those?
Dude, I experienced that about 8.5 minutes after landing in Tokyo airport. Oh no, it's called.
Talk us through this.
Hasi. I forget what the fucking name of the airport is, man. I'm terrible. So I land. It's like a 12.5-hour flight. No, was it even longer than that? Or we did say it's like a 12.5-hour flight, right? So when I get there, I need to shit. Right? I need to shit like pretty bad. So I've only got hand luggage with me because I packed light. Because I ain't an idiot, because I'm like waiting around a fucking carousel like a chump. So I go to use the toilet that's in the airport. It's on the side. Now Tokyo is obviously I think it's one of the biggest cities in the world in terms of the amount of people who are there. So they got their shit together. They're not like no rinky dink. They ain't no rinky dink town. Nah, they're a proper fucking city. So everything's signed off properly. So I find my way to the toilets. I've heard of these toilets before. There's stuff of legends, right? So you sit down, you do your business, you have a look on the side, and there's a little control panel. You can make out what most of it means in English. Again, I'll send you pictures just of the control panel, not me in the toilet. No one wants to see that. Excuse me. So there's a little button. You hit the button, and there's an infrared. I had a look afterwards to see what it was. There's like an infrared sensor on the toilet seat at the back that measures where your arsehole is, brings out a little little rod with a sprinkler on the end, and fires a jet of warm water into your fucking bumhole. Now I don't mean on the cheek, slightly to the left. I mean bullseye, dude. Every fucking I'm talking. You try it. You try like shift to the left a little bit, and the infrared it gets it. It knows where you are. It just lines up.
So it like make your batty's a target for it, and it hits every we're talking in terms of success rate out of 100. How many times out of 100 was it hitting the ring?
Bullseye, dude. 100% bullseye every single time.
Dev.
Bullseye.
Dev.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to realize that you enjoyed that sensation?
Well, here's the thing. It is definitely an acquired taste, and you kind of. But this is what I'm telling you about. They got their shit together because there's intensity levels on the water, so you don't have to start off, you know, the super intense setting where it actually feels like you're being penetrated, right? You can start off on just a gentle sprinkle. Okay, you start off on the gentle sprinkle setting. You go from a gentle sprinkle to that's okay. You may go a fraction harder, and then you go from that to sort of mild jet. And I'm not gonna lie to you. First time I used one of those toilets, I washed my arsehole for about 10 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I did wash my arsehole.
You tried out with the buttons.
I was making sure that years of eating really terrible was rectifying it all in my. It was great.
Rectify, get their shit together. Do you realize how many times you have been flipping cracking those double entendres?
It's good, isn't it?
Do you know that? You ever put it on full jet
I
and
was
let it full
going
jet
for a
rinse out your
shit when I
batty?
didn't even need a shit. I was like, any little my stomach. Yeah, I need a shit.
Were you sitting down for a wee? Were you sitting down for a wee?
No, I didn't get that far. I didn't get sitting down for a wee far. But what I did do is I looked into buying one of them toilet seats and bringing them back to me, and then I just thought it's probably a logistical nightmare hooking it up. I'm no plumber, so fuck that. But the toilets are fucking incredible, dude. The other thing I wanted
toilet with laser guidance system that hits your batty. I don't think I have anything in my house that has laser guidance that's that accurate.
Mate, it's incredible. It's like NASA technology or some shit. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that I haven't been able to talk about anywhere is I went to this S&M club. So I'm out there with a friend, and they're like, let's go to this S&M club. So I'm like, they goes, last time I was there, it was really cool. We should go. I'm like, all right, sweet. So it goes to this S&M club.
Yeah.
It's like the way that this part of the city, Tokyo's a massive city. There's lots of different parts. Wherever the parts that I saw were like straight out of Blade Runner. You know, just like you imagine with the big neon signs and stuff. And it's
for real.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of shit crammed together and on top of each other. So if you imagine a street with a row of bars on, above all of those bars are about 4 or 5 other bars on top of that. So you walk up a staircase, and in that one block could be, you know, on every floor there's a different bar, and there'd be like 4 or 5 floors. So we walk down this one alley, and this S&M place that we're going to is like right at the top of the stairs. Now, I'd had a little bit to drink by now, so I'm just going with it. I'm just thinking, yeah, fuck it, all right, let's go. Like, you know, watch a little S&M show, whatever, you know, it's cool. So we get right to the top of these stairs, walk into this little club. It's not that big. You could maybe comfortably get about 20-25 people in there. It's a very, very intimate setting, the kind of thing where wherever you sit, you're still quite close to the stage. We walk in, there's nobody there, as in no customers. There's no show going on, there's nothing. The only people who are there are this absolutely enormous and fucking terrifying dominatrix style Japanese woman, and 3 or 4 other what to me looks like subs, and then one little camp dude who's got like these like sort of inflatable muscles and these tiny little leather shorts on. So kind of walk in, there's like music sort of playing low, and it's a bit like, oh, are you guys closed? And they're like, no, come in, come sit down. Okay, now the deal is you pay the equivalent of about 40 or 50 quid, and it's like all you can drink for an hour. Right?
Yeah.
So all you can drink for an hour, and then they put on a show and stuff. So get a drink, they all sit around us. They all come and sit around us because obviously we're the only fucking people in there. So you get past the formative. They're not, you know, the English isn't that good. So you get past the formative. You know, hi, where you from? I say I'm from London. They're all like, London, yeah. And then that's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to say after that. It's just like, so. So I'm sat in there for about 5 minutes, and I'm thinking, look, I've paid my money to see a show. So I said to one of them, I'm like, so do you do a show or something? And they went, you can be the show. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, come with us. So I get taken by the hand by this massive dominatrix Japanese woman, who I definitely would. She's gorgeous, but she's also terrifying as well. Like, she looks like she could probably break me in half, right? So I get taken in the back, but it's her and the little camp guy with the inflatable muscles. They take me into the back. Now, this ain't no fucking dressing room, dude. They take me behind, you know, the sort of like ribbon curtain things, the little things sometimes you see in convenience shops and stuff. They take me through some little ribbon things. Now I'm in the fucking back part of the bar. I can see where they wash the glasses. I can see they got a few kegs on the floor and that. But they've also got a box with outfits in. So the dude's picking me out an outfit, and I said to him, he can't understand what I'm saying to him, but he's picking me out an outfit, and I'm going, yeah, give me an outfit like yours. I'm pointing to the shorts, like, yeah, like them. I want shorts like that. And he's like, no. And what he hands me is like, it's sort of like a cod piece with like sort of a studded belt, then another studded belt that goes up to goes from my navel up to my throat. Yeah, like a sort of choker chain studded thing that goes around my neck, and then a scream mask as well, a sort of gimp scream mask that he puts on. Now, I'm stood there, this little codpiece, arse hanging out, whatever, and I'm thinking, I don't want to look like a fucking prick, so I'm gonna put my Air Max 90s on. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to look like a dickhead. I'm not going out like that. So I'm stood there, I'm dressed up in this outfit. I've got the mask on, you know. So you sort of, you can have a moment with yourself when you got the mask on like that, like, going, what the fuck is going on right now? But the alcohol, Marcus, is strong in my system, and it's telling me, you can fucking do this, man. Whatever they want to do, whatever they want to throw at you, you can fucking do this. So I'm being held by the hand by this little camp guy, and he's bringing me to the side of the stage. I'm still out of view of everybody else who is outside, but I'm sort of getting led to the side of stage. And I go to walk out, and he says, no, wait. And then they play my intro music, right? Which, under any other circumstances, I would have really enjoyed hearing, and has been a favourite song. It's a classic of mine. But they played Darude Sandstorm as my intro music, and I'm waiting for the drop to go out, right? So I've got Darude Sandstorm in my ears, and then everyone knows this one.
There you go. Yeah,
you got it. So as it drops, I go out on the stage, I'm blinded by these lights, I'm just kind of out there like, the fuck is going on? I'm stood there, I've got the cod piece, got my ass hanging out, this fucking weird scream mask on, but I got my Air Max 90s on, so I don't look like a total prick. So just as I go to sort of start showboat and get into it, I get grabbed by this dominatrix Japanese chick, and she grabbed me and throws me down onto this throne, and I'm thinking, alright, this is cool. And then my hands get tied to this fucking throne by these two other like subs, and then the Japanese dominatrix one, she starts flogging my nuts, like really going for it, like whoop-ah, whoop-ah, and I'm like trying to shut my legs, and they're fucking holding them open, and they're like whoop-ah, like flogging my nuts and my legs, and I'm like, and then going for the chest, whoop-ah, whoop-ah, Darude Sandstorm, fuck is going on? And then all I remember is screaming on the inside of the mask, right? We've not even discussed the safe word. We've not discussed the safe word. They're just going for it. And then they fucking pick me up, they sort of flip me round, and then I just hear them going, wax, 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 wax. I'm thinking, what? They're gonna fucking wax me, like, what's going on? I turn around, and there's like these two massive industrial sized candles that they're bringing towards me, and they're like, do you want the hot wax, or do you want the really hot wax? And I'm like, I don't want any wax.
Wow.
So then what they do is they hold me down, and then they fucking spell out some shit on my back, some sort of Japanese symbol. I don't know what it meant. It probably meant black bastard or some shit, but they spell it out. And actually, when I had a look at it in the mirror afterwards, it was actually really well done. You can tell that they do it quite a lot. But there's a moment, right, where I'm face down, I've got these Japanese subs holding my arms and my legs, the Japanese dominatrix is behind me, like sort of dripping the wax into my back. I'm looking down at the floor, Darude Sandstorm, and I'm looking down at the floor, right, and it's Tuesday night, I'm in fucking Tokyo, I'm drunk, and this is happening to me, and I'm going, this is fucking cool, man. This is fucking cool. Tokyo's alright by me. So our hour finishes, I get changed, I come back out, we all just start fucking talking like regular. Our hour runs out, and then I'm just like, alright guys, see ya. Fucking walked outside, my mate's like, oh, do you want to go to a karaoke bar? I'm like, yeah, alright, cool, why not? And then, dude, you gotta go to Tokyo, man.
We are going to Tokyo. Fact.
That felt so good to be able to talk about.
No problem. And that is how you kick off the show when Dev is in the building.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, man. And we're going to give him some more love, but love to Ace as well, man. Get well soon. He's proper dying. Dev. Many ways to kill an hour out there, but right now you are killing one with us. Love to all of those listening via the Apple podcast app and Acast. Plus all of those that are getting in touch via Twitter, like Dwayne, Big King Nasty, and Natasha McDonough? How do I say that? McDonough. McDonough.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got some love on the...
You just offended one of your listeners.
I'm sorry, Natasha McDonough. Is it? It sounds Irish to me. Can I say it Irish?
Natasha McDonough, to be sure, listens to your podcast and thinks it's crack. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can say it like that. I think I just offended.
That's racist. That's straight racist.
Well, you know what? My mum's Irish, so
that's not racist.
Diplomatic community.
You got the plates.
I do.
Also, hello to Dassel.
Can I make fun out of the potato famine? Will I get in trouble? What if my mum's Irish?
Yeah, we don't go that deep. Today. Okay. Hello to Dassel 13 as well.
I said, could I? I was merely asking a question.
Yes,
didn't.
I'm gonna say yes then, because you haven't yet.
I don't want any angry leprechauns knocking on my door. You know what I mean? After this podcast goes out, what's it you said? I didn't say it. I said, what if? Would I be able to get out of it? Because my mum's Irish. That's what I'm saying. Just like if I said that Jamaicans tend to have quite a lot of kids and then disappear. Would I get in trouble if I said that? Because my dad is Jamaican. Diplomatic community, guys.
Did he disappear?
Dual citizenship, guys.
Did he disappear?
Nah, he lives in Hackney. I just can't be bothered to go and see him. He depresses me.
Wow. I thought this was a fun podcast. Anyway, hello to Dassel as well, who gave us a rating as well, and sorry, a review, and they said, listen to these guys all the time at work. Great discussions, and you're very funny. And Miss Alpha said, the banter from these two, especially the episode where we spoke about Paranoid Poo, killed an hour in traffic this morning. Good to know that other people pick up the phone when they're on the shitter. Keep them coming, boys. The toilets coming.
It's a lovely image.
Yeah, it's an episode called Paranoid Poo where we talk a lot about pooing. Check it out. It's really good.
I've had a lot of love from Danny Darko HD on Twitter, who said the part about the Kardashians on last week's show had him pissing himself. Do you hear that, Marcus? You're making people soil themselves. I hope you're happy.
And that is what we set out to do when we started this show. I'm happy about that. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't think he meant literally pissing himself. I hope not.
Oh, well.
That'd be a weird reaction to a show, isn't it?
Well, it depends how old you are.
Just want you to laugh, really. Get a few chuckles.
That might be a side effect if you're over 80 and you're listening to the show. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Am I supposed to read out more? Oh, yeah, from Label Navis. Top notch, mate. Keep it up. Thanks. Label.
No problem.
It's not a real name.
Well, I don't know. No problem, Label.
There's no girl or boy called Label. No.
I met a guy.
I think it's an anagram.
I met a guy in Nigeria called Thank God. Thank God. That was his name. So if there's a Thank God out there, yeah, bro. You know, it was really hard because for the first 10 minutes, everyone was saying Thank God, and he was going yes. I was like, this guy's really religious because every time someone says Thank God, he's like yes. He's a stand up to attention, but no, he was his name was Thank God.
Did you see the picture someone put up of their Uber driver who was called Jesus? And so when the Ubers, I don't know, for those of you who don't use the app, once you've ordered a Uber car, it will send you a text with the name of the driver. So it will say Jesus is on his way.
Yes.
And then when the Uber arrives, it says Jesus is outside. I mean,
that's amazing.
I want Jesus I mean, if he was going to choose to come back that way, it's a little bit disappointing, isn't it? Like,
still serving the people. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, but if he was going to come back, wouldn't he come back
exactly.
as an Uber driver?
And cab drivers were kind of dying out, the whole black cab thing, but now they've come back.
They've
had a second coming.
I'm going to get in trouble for saying this because my cousin is a black cab driver. I think that it's a shame that something which has been such an iconic British thing for a long time felt like it was getting phased out for a while. But then I also feel like, and I understand that the training and that goes into becoming a cab driver, a lot of people, it takes 3 or 4 years to learn the knowledge, to have it all in your head, not just the sat.
Do you know what, Dev? Let's explain what the knowledge is. One sec though. If you want to get a shout out in next week's episode, please make sure you subscribe, rate and comment on iTunes. We'll read out the best ones. Want to know how to rate and comment? We'll put a link in the description. Just click that. Sorry, Dev, you were saying the knowledge is.
Well, the knowledge is what black cab drivers have to learn in order to become a black cab driver. And this is my second-hand knowledge from my brother who trained and tried to do the knowledge for a number of years, and also my cousin who is a black cab driver and has done the knowledge. This is my second-hand knowledge. Is that you go on, you get given runs, like typical popular destinations at A and B sort of scenario, sometimes at A, B and C.
Yeah.
You learn all these runs, you get up early in the morning, you go on your moped, you zip around the length and breadth of London to learn all of these different destinations. You do that for I think a while, and then you get exams every now and then your test can be you sat in front of 4 or 5 other qualified black cab drivers, and they will say, right, you start off at King's Cross, get me to Peckham, and I want you to go this way. Now you have to sit there with no sat nav and say you're going to go down this road and you better left this way, and you take the third exit on this roundabout, and then they might throw in, yeah, but there's roadworks on Charing Cross Way, so you can't go that way, so I need you to take me a different way. And you have to do that for 3 or 4 years until you are qualified, until you get able to get your badge, and that means that you can drive a black cab. And I understand that if you're an Uber driver, you just download the app, you get a sat nav, you learn 1 or 2 words of English, hello, goodbye, and then you're sorted, you're on the way. But then I also feel like maybe black cab drivers should have got together and invented Uber before Uber.
They should have been on this from early. Like, yeah. Like, and I also, I'm curious, if you're listening from like the stateside, we've got a few stateside listeners, is there like a US equivalent in your city? Does every city have sort of like an exam that your taxi drivers have to pass before they can become official licensed yellow cab drivers? Because that's what we've got here for our black cabs.
I think it might be one of the most difficult ways of getting a badge. That's bullshit. Let me try and start again. I think that the knowledge is probably, if not the most, one of the most difficult exams that you have to take before you get you're able to drive a cab. I think most places you could get by on a basic knowledge of the layout of the city. Shall I look it up, because I don't want to sound like an idiot?
Yeah, check it out. But I feel like you could blag most jobs, but you can't blag the knowledge test. Do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't know. Like, I don't think I could. I think it's what other things would be easier to do. It'd be easier to be a teacher. Yeah, go on.
This is according to the knowledgetaxi.co.uk. The hardest of all taxi driver tests in the world is how many have described the London knowledge. So I guess this kind of thing it'd be difficult to measure. Oh, what's the hardest test you can take? But that it's sort of it's popular knowledge, and a lot of people are saying that this is one of the hardest of all taxi driver tests that you can do, is the one that you do in London. Agreed.
Well, there we go, we're in agreement then. But I'm just thinking there's other jobs out there that are easier to get, that have a lot more responsibility, like teacher, security.
You think teacher's an easy job to get?
Well, I don't know. I feel
think
like
maybe PE teacher.
Yeah, but I don't think like teacher. Do you get? Yeah, that's what I mean. They don't sit you down and go, "How do you get a class of students to run?"
Was there a particular type of PE teacher that you had at school? Weren't they always like, I nearly made it, I nearly did this, but then I done my knee in, so then I started teaching PE or whatever. And they always, particularly in my experience, Marcus, they always seem to bring across a little bit of that bitterness into the PE hall. Do you know? Like, you could tell it in the way that they talked, and then the way that they sort of told you off and stuff, that there was and the way that they screamed during games. There's a little bit of them on the inside that's died a little bit, but that reignites every time they see you score a goal or get a swish or something. Just a little observation.
Or the other way, Dev, when they take out their frustrations on a game that they've not been able to invest as much of their life into, and they become that teacher that starts going for slide tackles and rugby tackles and says like, if everybody at the end of the class isn't covered in mud, I'm gonna line you up and rugby tackle you one by one. There was a teacher that used to say that at school.
There was always a PE teacher who went a little bit too hard, right? Particularly in the showers. I'm just joking.
Whoa, what school was that?
I don't want to talk about it. It's for another podcast. But no, shout out to the
Operation New Street crew.
I did actually have a very good PE teacher. It was very encouraging.
Okay.
I just was too stubborn and too feisty. So,
did you do a lot of sports at school?
I was the sports. My body was a temple when I was at school. I used to do. Well, actually, I was always shit at football.
Yeah,
could never play football. Which for your international listeners, right? to be a British kid and to not be able to play football, to be athletic looking, to look like a football player, but can't actually play, is the most devastating thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. You know, first day of school, you arrive, you're sort of scanning the playground and you're figuring out, right, who am I going to hang out with, which group of friends am I going to attach myself to, and then you walk sort of past where everyone's playing football and it's always very rowdy, and then somebody kicks the ball over and it rolls over to your feet and you think, this is my chance, this is it, this is my way to make the mark on my first day of school. All I got to do is just punt it, just pass it to somebody. If you go for that kick and you fucking slice it over a fence into the gardener's bit where he stays next door, I mean, it's not a good way to. It's not a good way to start.
Yeah, you don't want to be Chris and Banana Foot on your first day at school, like Banana Foot because you got a wonky toe, a rocket shoe, or what other thing, Brickfoot.
But I compensated in other areas as you tend to do.
Fingering.
I was alright at athletics, never the fastest kid in school. Yeah. It's pretty good at basketball. Was actually something I wanted to pursue properly for a really long time, until I went to New York for a little basketball camp thing, and I sort of realised maybe I'm not tall enough.
How tall are you, Dev?
I'm 5'11", right? But that doesn't really count for much on a basketball court. If you're anything below 6'1", 6'2", you're just gonna get big black athletic balls slammed down on your forehead multiple times during the game. Which, if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead, fill your boots, man. You'll love it. But you know, for me, I sort of got tired of it after a couple of weeks. I was just like, maybe this isn't for me.
How many testicles were in your face? Like, at what point were you like, this is too many?
In New York, every day, there's some big fucking black balls right in my face. Like, come on, dude, come on, man. I got pretty good at like sort of swerving out of the way, like a sort of Neo Matrix stuff. What? Like, every time, but it wouldn't. Not every time, you know. By the end of my stay in New York, I had a sort of 60% success rating of missing big black balls that are swinging towards me. But you can't get them. You can't get them all, Marcus. You can't get them.
You can't. Wow. What is looking sporty as well, by the way, at school? Can you like? Because I'm
just not being fat.
Not being fat. Let's be real. Brown people. The browner you are, the faster you look. Unless you're fat. Yeah,
there was always some like fresh off the boat. Usually either African or sometimes Caribbean, occasionally South American, who would come to your school and just be the fastest, like all the fastest, strongest, athletic kids in my school. None of them were like English. And I'll tell her, like, maybe one or two of them were. You get the sort of like louty kind of Celtic warrior style, but the vast majority were like either black kids or ethnics, you know.
Ethnics.
but you have you seen that documentary? A mate of mine made this documentary actually about why all the fastest people in the world are black.
Was this one that they touched on during the Olympics?
The NFL's. This is
go on, crack on. I'll let you know if it is.
This was produced by a mate of mine called Paul Blake. Right?
Yeah.
And he did it with Michael Johnson, and. Paul Blake has done some incredible documentaries. He did Giving Up the Weed with J-Rock from Big Brothers. Remember them?
Yep.
He did, I think, a documentary about jail with Ashley Walters. He also did an incredible documentary with the comedian Stephen K. Amos, who came out in probably one of the most hostile places you could come out, in Brixton, whilst doing a comedy show. And then went to Jamaica. But anyway, this documentary he did with Michael Johnson, the sprinter, where they were trying to find out why all the fastest athletes, why so many athletes in the NBA and the NFL, this sort of like explosive, really quick, powerful, you have to be sort of quick, explosive and powerful to play, why the vast majority of them were black. And basically it kind of got, I don't want to spoil it for you, and I am massively paraphrasing and probably going to butcher this entire thing, but from what I remember is that it pretty much comes down to forced breeding and the sort of devastation that the slave trade, I don't mean to laugh at it, it's just I'm just realizing how much I'm bringing down this podcast after we went from PE teachers to the slave trade. But look, my point is that the documentary proved that when they spoke to forensic experts and stuff, is that if there's enough trauma within a generation, the DNA of a race or the type of people can change. So when they brought slaves over from Africa to the Caribbean, there was a 90 or 95% mortality rate, which meant 95% of the people that they were bringing over were dying, dead before they even got there. So the people that did arrive were the strongest of the strong. And then even once they got there, they would then pair up the strong guys with the strong, women. So you get that for a couple of 100 years, you're going to end up with some fucking super race of black people who are just got this you must have known.
So you think if they carried on slavery, we'd have real life X-Men? Is that what you're trying to say, Dev?
Pretty much, there'd be no other option, would there? You must have gone to school with, those black kids who just looked like athletes. They didn't train, they didn't do push-ups or nothing like that. They just hop out the womb, just jacked, you must have gone to school. There's always one or two black youths in school who were just ripped for apparently no reason. You look at them like, damn, dude, what you doing, like fucking P90X or some shit? It's like, no, this is just how they look. They're just ripped. I'm telling you, man.
We used to say it was all the hard food, all of the yam and the jollof rice and chicken and stuff like that got people so hench.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, you know what? There's logic to that theory, though. I don't know how true it is, but it makes...
No, they proved that shit, man. They proved it. The documentary proves it. Let me just find the name of it now. Michael Johnson. It was called Fastest Man in the World, or... Hang on. Paul Blake Maroon Production.
So this is the point where you press the fast forward 15 seconds?
Or you could just edit this out.
No, I'm going to leave it in.
Lazy.
Keeping it real.
Lazy. Alright, so I'm on right, Gang Life. Oh, that was the one he did with Stephen K. Amos. That was amazing. That was called Batty Man, High Society Favorites Gigolo, Search for an Asian Villain.
Wow, he really knows how to get those punchlines in to get you into watch.
Michael Johnson, Survival of the Fittest. Olympia Michael Johnson makes a personal, genealogical and scientific journey to discover if African American and Caribbean athletes are successful as a result of slavery. Why is it that all of the athletes lined up of the men's 100-meter final at the Beijing Olympics could trace their ancestry back to the transatlantic slave trade? In this remarkable authored film, he speaks to leading voices in the world of sport and science to examine the link between the transatlantic slave trade and genetic selection. There's only 2 lines left. He investigated the role slavery may have played in altering the genomes of their descendants and discovers some disturbing truths about the lives of his enslaved ancestors. From the mass murder of those on slave ships to the nightmarish breeding programs of plantation owners, Johnson confronts this appalling history. It's a bad boy documentary. You can watch the whole thing. Can you watch the whole thing? No, I think it's just a trailer on the website. Is it?
And that is how you read, guys, just in case.
Yeah. I don't know, how do we end up talking about that from PE teachers?
I don't know, but you know what, before we dash off that though, it's kind of interesting that that's just in sprinting, in swimming, and in long distance running. I wouldn't say it's swimming, the same thing.
There's no name me a black swimmer right now.
Exactly, that's what I mean. It's like the opposite. I was just making the point. Right. It's interesting in swimming, it's not the same. In long distance running, I don't think it's the same either.
What are you talking about? Long distance running, it's all Kenyans and Ethiopians.
Yeah, with Kenyan names and Ethiopian names. So that means you've come straight from the motherland, which means you've not been
East Coast though, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean. All I'm saying is you're less likely if you come from the motherland to have been. You might have been colonized, but you might not have been shipped over here or shipped over to the States or whatever and used as slaves. So it's kind of interesting how. I would like them to check the genomes of long distance runners and then also swimmers and stuff like that and just see what else there is that's interesting, because sprinting is just one sport. Do you know what I mean? But interesting.
Do you think that fans of Ace right now are listening to this going,
what the fuck? Yeah, that's
off this week. Why you wouldn't get slave trades and genomes of Ace now, would you?
We're cold, because we've not actually given any love to Ace, who's morbidly sick right now. In fact, he's
get
bad,
well soon,
man.
Ace.
Yeah, get well soon, bro. Get
some echinacea.
He is so bad, and sorry for the podcast dropping late this week. I've been literally not able to get near a studio. The setup me and Dev have got right now. Believe it or not,
pretty impressive.
We're not in the same room. I'm just saying,
not in the same room. Not even in the same postcode.
Jeez. Like, we're
fucking mental, isn't
yeah.
it?
So if we could have made this work, we would have. Man, Ace, get well soon, please, bruv. Yeah, man, he's just not well. And if you think it's his leg that he hurt when he fell down the stairs, because he's not had any medical attention officially since he's fallen down the stairs, it might be. Ace might not have a leg next week, Dev.
What?
I'm fucking around.
You shouldn't joke about that.
Should I not?
Marcus.
No, I told him to go to the doctors enough time. I told him to go to the doctors enough time.
Slavery and the Irish potato famine is one thing, all right? But when you joke about Ace losing his leg, you're crossing a line, Marcus, all right? You're crossing a line.
But you know what, though? Just for you, Ace, let's talk about Robot Wars. One of the best shows ever.
This is coming back.
It was a show here in the UK on BBC Two. I think it was on BBC One for a little while as well, when it was getting them ratings in.
First off, right, I'm going to say this, right? If fucking Craig Charles is not presenting the new series of Robot Wars, then BBC, you just lost yourself a viewer, all right? Get fucking Craig Charles on. Even if he's like, you know, just a sort of side pundit, even if he's not the main guy, fucking get Craig Charles back. Give him a fucking leather jacket, a floor-length leather jacket, right? And fucking get him on.
Dev, for those that don't know though, what is Robot Wars?
Right, Robot Wars on paper sounds like the nerdiest shit in the whole world. And yeah, to be fair, it kind of was. There weren't no, come on, bro. To be honest, there weren't no Roadman on Robot Wars, was there?
There was zero.
There was always it'd be some fucking engineer and his son, or something like that, or some professor and his weird relationship with his like 17-year-old intern or some shit. So Robot Wars was, these people would build robots in their garages and fucking workshops and shit. They'd build these robots with like an axe on the side, or one of them would like fucking swing around some blades or some shit. They'd bring them to this arena and they would have to go up against the house robots. House robots were built by like
professionals, people that did this, the A-team,
Stephen Hawking kind of shit, like bar them firing out missiles. And that was always the hilarious thing, is you'd have these people who have built these shitty fucking robots out of like tinfoil and egg cartons and shit, and they'd be going up against these like, you know, £2 million house robots that were just fucking it wasn't even close as all they'd fucking destroy it. And you know, you'd always they'd have this moment where a father and son have brought their robot that they've spent months on, you know, trying to perfect everything, get all the gears running. It's been this beautiful father and son bonding experience, and they take it to Robot Wars, and one of the house robots just smashes it to smithereens in about 5 seconds, and you get a shot of the little kid's broken face who looks up to his dad, and his dad looks back down like, that's Robot Wars, son, this what fucking happens.
Were you for the team of like house robots winning, or were you for like the people that had come in and sort of remortgage their house, use their nan's that has passed away electric wheelchair motor to make a robot? Were you up for those sorts of people winning, or were you up for the house robots?
You'd always feel you'd always want to root for the underdog.
Yeah.
And, you know, occasionally, that's not all the time, but occasionally you would get somebody who's built a really good robot, something that has, like I noticed the ones that had the sort of sandwich wedge.
Yeah, they were good ones.
Built like a sideways triangle sandwich. Yep. So if they ran into something, they could sort of scoop it up from underneath. And if I'm not mistaken, there were like 1 or 2 times where you get someone's robot who knocked a house robot into like the fire pit or some shit, and you would just lose your shit.
Give me that.
And it was all presented by national treasure Craig Charles. He'd be wearing a floor-length Neo-style leather jacket, and he'd be really excited about it. And they also, who used to commentate it?
Was it a radio presenter? Was it Dr. Fox?
No, he does all the Channel 5 football coverage. That's so shit.
But they got like a football pundit, the live football pundit to do it.
You gotta remember his voice, because his voice gets really excited. Oh my god, that's one of the house robots. You know that guy's voice.
Bruv, you should think about going for that position, you know.
Dude, he does football as well. It's too late. They've probably already signed off on it. They probably really got
Ace put a tweet out there asking for it.
Yeah. You know what? I missed out on a telly job. You'll like this. This is funny. I missed out on. I was in the running. I went for formative talks with the people who make the British version of Lip Sync.
Lip
Sync Battles UK.
Why didn't you do it?
Because I got beaten by the better
Professor
man.
Green.
Professor Green. They wanted Professor Green instead. But you know what that would have meant? That would have meant that I got to stand next to Mel B. Right? Spice Girl, Mel B, who, if I'm not mistaken, right, every year that fucking passes, right, every autumn, I see a picture of Mel B. Is she or she not getting more fucking buff? What is going on?
She's putting that money in good places, boy. She's looking
Mel
good. She's
B,
working out.
Mel B now in 2016 is infinitely just so much more attractive than Mel B like 15 years ago. It's ridiculous.
Working out.
It's not even close.
Do you know what? Actually, to go back to Robot Wars, Jeremy Clarkson used to do it before Craig Charles.
I don't remember. That's so weird that I don't remember that. And that's how you know that Craig Charles is a good presenter.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember Jeremy Clarkson doing it.
Jonathan Pierce.
Do you know? Is that the guy's name?
The guy that done the commentary.
Yes. Shout out to Jonathan fucking Pierce. You are also a national treasure, sir. Sorry, I didn't know your name. But I think the problem with Jeremy Clarkson doing it, don't you think he was maybe a bit too sort of snippy and snide about it? Like it was almost like, check out these fucking geeks and their robots. It's like, nah. You kind of want the presenter to buy into it a little bit more, right? You don't want a sort of T4, too cool for school star presenter like, oh, this fucking nerd and his robot. You don't want that. You want somebody who's got that genuine enthusiasm for it. And that's why Craig Charles is the man.
Yeah, bring him back, but I don't know if he's up for it, man.
Who they got presenting the new Robot Wars? Let me guess. Is it like fucking Gaz from Geordie Shore?
Oh no, it can't be that. That'll take it. Nah.
To Robot Wars.
It needs to be someone who's a little bit grimy, a little bit rough around the edges. Someone who's done a bit of dirt. Who's done a bit of dirt that they can put in there, so they're like credible.
Danny Dyer.
Danny Dyer, yes.
Wouldn't that be
Danny
sick?
Dyer would be good. Hello, welcome to Robot Wars. We're gonna see some robots fuck each other up. Oh shit, I can't say that. It's a live show. Did I just say shit? Fuck it. Let's go. Yes, he's the guy.
Treacle.
All right, Treacle.
I got one fucking thing to say to you.
Yeah.
It's time for fucking Robot Wars. Are you ready? You fucking up for it?
Yes.
We've got two fucking robots smashing into each other, smashing the absolute fucking granny out of each other. Do you want it? Do you want to see that?
Look at that.
What's on fucking Robot Wars next?
Yeah. You want to see two robots smashing the granny out of each other? Yes. I won that, bro. Apparently they're filming it in Scotland, though. So I don't know why. Probably so it's far away from all of us. In a bulletproof studio. So there could be, I don't know, there could be things popping off and flying around the place.
I remember when I watched that when I was a kid, my brother said to me that he would go to Robot Wars in a box painted silver and just have a gun on the inside.
That's the quickest way to die.
It
would be so funny until you saw one of the robots. It was called Sir Lancelot, which had a big claw in it which would cut robots in half. If you saw your boy getting picked up by that, bruv.
That was the other really cool thing about Robot Wars. These weren't like sort of this is something that if it was scaled 20 times bigger, it'd fucking kill you.
Yeah,
it's a real life Terminator.
If it was, this is practicing. These guys that are making these robots and Robot Wars, they're gonna make the first T1. They're gonna make the T1000. You know that.
You know, occasionally there'll be a video of like the one that really scared me. When you see leaps and bounds in robot technology, did you see the one where they've made a robot that runs like a horse?
Yeah, and
runs
they kick
on
it.
4 legs. Yeah, I saw the video of that, and also when I see drones, and you just see them all flying in formation. And I just think, whenever I see stuff, I think, wow, that's amazing. That's going to come and kill us one day. So I always think, I think a giant version of that is going to come and just kill us one day. We'll create artificial intelligence, or realise we don't fucking need, humans are just waste, we're just taking up space, we're just fucking making plastic and shit, and I just realise they don't need us. Just get rid of us.
Nah, need a bit of sunlight and that's it. Or if you're in the Matrix,
Age of Ultron,
they just freaking use us for batteries.
What do you reckon it'll be? Matrix? Do you reckon it'll be Age of Ultron? Do you reckon it will be what other post-apocalyptic? Would it be World War Z?
I think whatever. All right, you can help me answer this.
There's no robots.
No, that's a zombie film. But I think it's going to be the sort of ending where, if this does happen, robots take over the world. It's going to be like, you know, the way you would feel if you had to build a house but there was an ant's nest in a way. What would you do? Would you build a little, like, you know, ant conservation area around it, or would you pour some hot water on it and fuck it off? What would you do?
Just kick that ant's nest out of the way,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
I think
you'd ethnic cleanse that ant hill.
I don't think it's going to be like an angry killing. It's going to be like a do one. It's going to be like that.
just gonna or what if, right? What if? All right, I've just had a vision. This is what it's gonna be like. Okay.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah, go on.
See, this is gonna go out, and everyone's gonna hear this, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's right."
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Technology is gonna advance to the point where, right, we get like brain chips.
Woo!
Okay, we get brain chips, and it'll be like all your currency, your passport information, your fingerprints, everything is on that switch, right? It's even connected to your heartbeat and everything, right? And we're all going to be connected on this massive grid. And then when the robots take over, all they're going to do, Marcus, is just flip the switch. They're going to turn us off.
Just one little electrical charge just to knock us out. Wow, that's, you know what?
Gone.
That could happen.
Gone.
That could happen.
Gone.
So we're all just chilling here like, yeah, welcome to How to Go.
I would prefer it like that.
Or
wouldn't you prefer it that someone switches the lights off rather than what's the other alternative? What that we have to live through the bit where we fight against the robots?
Yeah, it's
where
not
we're
worth
like
it.
Massively outnumbered. We're fighting them with like sticks and stones and shit, and getting limbs pulled off and that. And I don't want to live through that.
Believe me, it's not going to be a robot. It's not going to be a Terminator thing where they're fighting us robots. It's just not efficient. They're just going to.
No.
Like, think of all that freaking effort that their metal they used building T-1000s in all the Terminator films. They could have just built a big ass nuclear bomb and fired it, and dug their little robot selves underground for a little while.
I want it to be quick, like, you know, when them times you haven't got time to eject your USB quick enough, just whip it out. That's what I want. A quick, clean switch off.
You're onto something, you know. Wow, that's how I'd do it if I was a robot. One fell swoop.
Why do I keep making your podcast depressing?
I don't know.
This is supposed to uplift people, right?
Yeah, you know.
You got people like listening to this what on the way to work, or like waking up in the morning trying to feel inspired. And so far, I've talked about the slave trade and the end of the world.
Well, let's bring it back to some How to Kill an Hour then, bruv, because we can't handle robots killing us. But obviously, Twitter went down on Tuesday. We couldn't even handle that. Tuesday, the 19th of January, 2016, Twitter was down.
I think I might have slept through that.
Bruv.
That was good.
The funniest thing was people were going crazy on Twitter about it. The ones that could tweet and stuff, but Twitter weren't working.
Do you know,
it's the worst place, bruv. Twitter's not working. Why are you going to tweet about it?
This is interesting, right? Because we're recording this podcast on like a last minute thing.
Yeah.
We obviously didn't plan to do this. And last night I locked myself out of my studio and I left my charger inside. My phone battery died. So when I went home, I was without a phone. I was without my phone for the whole evening and for the whole of the morning as well when I woke up. And I read somewhere before that checking your phone before you go to sleep adds stress levels or something like that. But do you know how nice it was to not have my phone? I had a few moments where, you know, I'd check my pockets or I'd go to reach for it or something, but that you do get a certain level of bliss by not constantly being connected to the internet, to constantly have to feel like what's trending and let me check my mentions, has so and so sent me a message back, to not constantly be in that state of, I think it's a mild form of panic. Like, think of when you can't find your phone. Them few seconds you can't, you think, fuck, I'm gonna lose so and so's number and I didn't copy that email that I got from so and so, and how the fuck am I gonna go get those pictures back from? It's okay, it's fine. And then you find it and you get that sort of sense of relief, like, oh, I'm never gonna let you go again.
I'm a sucker for that. My phone comes with me everywhere, man.
I think if Twitter was gonna do us all a favour, then they would, every Tuesday Twitter would go down.
Twitter Down Tuesday. Oh, we got the hashtag there. Hashtag Twitter Down Tuesday.
Just shut it down, guys. Shut it down. Don't need to fucking tweet, and we don't need. Just have one day of the week where we're like, fuck it, let's just live our lives.
Do you know what, Dev? If they did that,
don't take any selfies and nothing.
If they did that, I bet you it would take a few weeks. Tuesday would become the new Sunday. Shops will close. Retail like outlets will close. You know, friggin' you'd probably only be able to get a McDonald's till like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. Everything would shut down, bruv. No Twitter.
No, you know why? You know why? Because the world that we live in now, it's always got to be one dickhead. Always got to be. There'll be more than one, but there's always got to be one. Like, if for example, not even Bill Gates, all right, if all the billionaires in the world team together and they put their money in a massive fund, and then off the interest of that they put it in another fund, and then done it again, so there's enough money to give every person in the world £1 million, right? And all you have to do is everybody agrees that for one day nobody is going to post anything on social media. No one's even going to log in, right? If we all do that, we all get £1 million. Impossible.
Yeah,
impossible.
And what type of person do you think that's going to be? Because I know it's one of those kids that likes to shoot up schools. It's going to be them that does it.
It would be somebody who hates the world, some bitter, and that's the other thing. It wouldn't just be one person.
No, it would be that proper narcissistic, flipping. What's the other word for people that sociopath? Yeah, it would be a narcissistic sociopath that just is like, you know what? Fuck everyone. I want depression and death. And that is why I tweet on that Tuesday.
Just for the attention, and just for the attention, and imagine the retweets. if they just put up one tweet, right, that was the agreement. All right, the billionaires of the world said if everyone doesn't post anything on social media for 24 hours, right, and we'll give everybody $1 million. This is no scam. This is legit. This is genuine. Everyone gets $1 million. One person at 1 second before the 24 hours was completed would tweet, lol. And that would get infinite retweets. That person will be famous. That person will get their own reality TV show. They'd themselves become a millionaire, and they would be laughing at all of us.
It's a good point. It's why are we like why is, and this is us getting a bit down again, but like, why is group mentality so dumb when there's such clever individuals? Why is this?
I don't know, man. What do we do? Do we round up all the idiots and then just...
Nah, but I think a group of clever people together. I know they say like many minds, whatever. Make a greater mind and what that sort of stuff. Like, with Making a Murderer.
Is that a saying?
I don't know. There's a saying around it, like many minds. I don't want to say many. I don't want to say many minds make light work, because that ain't it. But there's like...
That's many hands.
I know. But there's something about...
Do you know what you're doing? You're mixing
there's a saying about many minds, Dev. There's a saying where a lot of minds get together. Beautiful things happen. That's it. The collective mind is stronger than the single mind. All right, there we go. That's it.
Okay.
So for example, with this like Making a Murderer thing that's out now, there are loads of people that are spotting evidence and sending it to the attorneys that were involved in it. Like, they're seeing stuff. And Making a Murderer is this massive show on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's like a mad murder story. So like, Many Minds Together is supposed to be quite clever, but at the same time, Many Minds Together make some really bad decisions, bro.
Well,
it's like if one person runs at the back of a group of people and goes, ah! Two people look at them and go, whoa, what's going on? I better run. 3 people look, 5 people, and then next thing you got a massive stampede. Do you know what I mean? We've got that sort of thinking sometimes.
There's definitely that kind of mob, pitchfork, fucking torch, witch burning sort of mentality that when a lot of people get together, there is that kind of mass confusion, and it seems like it's easy to get a big group of people to do something pretty dumb.
Oh yeah,
but that's us, man, as humans. Again, which goes back to, I've honestly been thinking about that a lot, about just us as humans and what the fuck we are doing on the planet, like what we are doing here. What was it that I watched? What documentary was that? Oh right, that was it. That was the it was another Netflix documentary. Yeah. I don't know if it was them who did it, but it's on Netflix, about the elephant. What was the fucking documentary about the elephants? It's called Tyke the elephant.
I don't know.
Tyke the elephant. Tyke the elephant is a story about what I believe is an African elephant. I'm looking at a picture now. They've got the big ears. I think the big ears means
is he a long distance runner or is he a sprinter? That's how you work out whether he's a what.
Tyke was an African elephant, right? Who ended up getting shot on the streets of Hawaii, right? And you got to ask yourself, the fuck is an African elephant doing in Hawaii? Is he on holiday? Is he on vacation? Is he there to visit friends? No, he's wearing a fucking pink hat and performing circus tricks. And I was a kid once. I was amazed by the wonder of the circus and, when they got animals to perform and everything. But think about it for just a second. An elephant, as in the jungle, fucking drinking from a watering hole, like, an elephant. Yeah,
mad.
In the circus, in, fucking Finchley or something, like doing tricks. It just doesn't make sense. And I finished watching that documentary and I just went, we're not supposed to be here. I'm sure we're not. I'm sure it's a mistake.
You know what? Ebola's trying to get us. Yeah, HIV is trying to get us, but we're just managing to stay a step ahead.
I'm sure it's just all a mistake. All of this plastic, all of this non-biodegradable stuff. Of course it is,
bruv. Nothing's meant to grow like the way that the human race has grown across the world.
I mean, even like, you dig up some old Roman ruins or Egyptian shit. Like, a lot of that has sort of perished. The only stuff that really remains is like we're leaving behind too much shit. Where's it all gonna go?
Dev, are you crying?
I'm not crying. I'm just worried about.
It's all right, bruv.
I'm worried about what we're doing.
Right. You're right.
There's too much plastic.
You're right. The plastic, yeah. And you know what? You can't even wipe up your tears with plastic. It's the worst thing. I'm with you, bruv.
It's the worst.
Well, I'm not with you because you're in a different room, but.
And on top of that, Twitter was down the other day, and I just don't know what's real anymore.
And Dev, I've just gone online, and Craig Charles isn't going to do Robot Wars.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That's 3. Bad news comes in 3s.
That's right.
Who are they getting to do it? I bet I can guess.
No, I'm joking. I don't know. I'd love to do it. Ace wants to do it, and I want to do it.
You had Robot Wars down as a talking point, and you don't know who the new presenter is.
It's not out yet. Well, when the research was done for the show, it wasn't out.
So if I search Robot Wars new presenter, I'm not gonna.
Well, bruv, as far as I know right now, there's no cure, for HIV, no full-blown cure for that, You might so happen to go online as the cure is made. I'm just saying there's no available thing, but it might just have been invented now.
Oh my God! Just checking out a picture of Craig Charles from when he presented Robot Wars 13 years ago. In my memory, it was a floor-length Neo Matrix-style leather jacket, which serves me correctly. But what I failed to remember and include in this memory is it also had tassels. Had fucking tassels.
And he had some boots as well, boy. He had some serious boots.
So what was he supposed to be? Like a sort of post-apocalyptic cowboy, robot war maestro, master of ceremonies?
I think you hit it all in one. I think that's what he'd put on his CV. If anyone asked what he did.
He fucking nailed it. He fucking pulled it off.
Yeah, we need. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for Robot Wars, and that needs to come back. And that, Dev, is slightly less than an hour, but we're so late with this podcast this week. I need to just get it out to the people before Friday finishes.
Well, hang on. Don't you want to? We should just have like a normal catch up as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
We've not really seen each other in a long time. I've been in a lot of places.
Do you want me to do it and edit it in and put it at the start?
Yeah, alright, you can do that.
Cool. So that's been How to Kill an Hour with myself, Marcus Bronzy.
And I've been Dev.
Yeah, many ways to kill an hour out there. Thank you for killing one with us. Before we get out of here though, thank you everyone who has been subscribing and rating and commenting. If you want to know how to do that, go to the link that is in the description of this podcast. We'll be back next week, hopefully on time, and hopefully with Ace back as well. Alright? Stay blessed.